I'm Brigantia Blackbird of Blackbird's Brew. Happy Friday and welcome to the Pagan Housewife. Today we're going to be talking about creating a household altar. In ancient times, many pagan peoples had an altar or some kind of spiritual center within their homes or on the land where they lived. Today this tradition is carried on as modern pagans make space for spirituality where they live. Now in this video, I'm not going to focus on why someone might want to incorporate an altar in their home. This is more so about brainstorming ideas that people who do want a house altar might find useful. Now, of course, not every pagan household maintains an altar of this kind, and I'm not implying that they're letting the side down by not doing so. Just because something is a common practice, it does not mean that it is a commandment for any of us. But if it's a good idea, it's worth entertaining that idea. And if we feel the pull towards doing something, that's usually a sign that we will benefit from the practice. So let us talk. First is, where shall the altar go? Now, I dare say most of us are not living in mansions, and depending on how much space we have, how many people are living in the house, space at all could be at a very high premium. So we must choose wisely to ensure that the practical use of the space is still maintained, even while we infuse an additional spiritual component into it. Now, over the years, I've gotten the impression that the three most common locations for a household altar are the fireplace mantle, or the kitchen, possibly over or near to the stove, or having a spot in the backyard. It may be that none of these spots is going to be ideal for you, so don't feel inhibited. Choose what's going to be working best for you. It shouldn't create a problem to have an altar there. It should be something that enhances the space, not something that you trip over or just turns into one more thing to dust. That's not the purpose of this exercise. So once we figure out where we're going to put the altar, it becomes a question of what do we intend the altar to specifically honor, because this is probably going to be separate from our working altars if we are doing more involved rituals, especially if we're practicing the craft. This is something that could probably be separate. But this is also the creative and the fun part, because a household altar can cater to a lot of different things. It can be very devotional, where you're giving offerings to the deities that are most important to your life and the lives of your families. Or it could be a working altar, where you are doing a good bit of magical and spiritual work. Your intention should really be what guides your setup. The altar would be a good place to honor protective spirits of the home, be it deities, ancestors, animal spirits, and adding herbal sachets or crystal grids can also add an extra punch to the spiritual security system that this altar is really containing. But what if you want an altar that is more so a focal point to attract abundance, health, good fortune to the household? In that case, it makes me remember this witch who I used to know once upon a time. She always kept a jar full of beans on her altar to represent always having plenty of food in the house. On my altar, you can't see it, but it's up there, I have a little treasure chest. It's filled with coins to attract money and the opportunities to earn it, so that the household remains solvent. A lot of life is much easier if you can make the sums balance at the end of the month. I'm just saying. But what if you're more so wanting to have good fortune or enhance your luck? If you like creating lucky charms, this would be the place to put all those things. You have a lot of different options. I've only mentioned a couple because I want to get your own brainstorming process started. So if you have other ideas of yourself, please let me know about them in the comments below, or come see us on Discord at Blackbird's Brew and share your thoughts, and we can bounce ideas off of each other, and maybe you could come away with a tidbit that would make your household altar all that much more special and effective for you. So I think that's it for now. I will see you in the next one. Bye.